Weep Grana Weep Nitty Bong. I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to our Wednesday weekly news stream. For Transformers Earth Wars, we record live Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Engineer Hoist, and I always post the replay over to my YouTube channel, Engineer Hoist. Thank you to everybody who is here. We'll do some shout outs as I talk about the question of the day. I asked, who do you think is the most underrated bot in the game? And we got a lot of good answers. Let's see. Vortimus says Springer is underrated because the range on the heel is practically the entire map. I agree. Not a lot of love for Springer, but I definitely use his heel a lot, especially with C.O.M.B.A.T. You mentioned C.O.M.B.A.T and Windblade. I actually use those exact two on that same team with Springer. I saw a couple of votes for Slipstream, which is also Air Raid. Who can do some damage if you use them right. By the way, Astro Train is the opposite, or the Decepticon counterpart for Springer. Let's see. Laser Optimus, Sunstreaker Waza, by the way. Thanks for joining the stream. Says Laser Optimus. Some people still don't, even with the buffs and the 5-star, still not a high opinion on old shoulder pads Prime there. And I've been using my 4-star a lot, and he's working well. Dojak says Guy Hawk is pretty underrated, which also is Brainstorm and Laser Optimus Armada Prime. I actually use those two, Laser Optimus and Brainstorm, on the same squad. It works pretty well. Send out Brainstorm, highlights a lot of the buildings, and I drop Laser Optimus, and by the time he's got about halfway through his ability, I've cleared out half the base. If they've grouped their buildings anyway. So definitely some good votes in here. Crusher's saying gotta be Drillhorn, a Nose Cone. They are walking tanks. Their abilities could use a little bit of help, but yeah, definitely as warrior class bots, they are very strong. Sludge and Straxus can also fit in there. Saw a vote for Hot Rod and who also Nemesis Prime, and I have to say I've been using my Nemesis Prime over on my Decepticon squads quite a bit, and actually using his ability. I'll send off Bludgeon or some other warrior, and then follow up with that ability, and it keeps them going. So definitely, so there's some good choices there, and I was going to say Springer. So you got me on that one. Some other shout outs. We got Gen 1 Red Alert in here as usual. Thank you as always for stopping by. Gooklorin, Wolfman, Jer Barbara, happy birthday, by the way. Had a birthday yesterday on our Discord server. So a little birthday shout out for you today too. William Hackman is here. C. Taylor, Arnav, Optimus, Rodimus, and let's see, K-Bond, and yes, indeed, Vortimus, Springer for the win. Thank you for all your responses and the very detailed reasoning behind your responses. So how about we go ahead and talk about some Transformers Earth Wars news, find out what's coming up this weekend, and some new stuff in the game. This weekend's event is called Mists of Time. And it's not real secret what's happening this weekend. We've been talking about it for the past month or so. But we'll still go ahead and talk about it anyway. And why isn't my button working? There it goes. Gather your alliance to take part in this weekend's event to win up to 200,000 Spark, 200,000 Combiner Spark, 2,500 4-star shards, 3,000 3-star shards, 1,500 5-star shards, 25 total Spark Crystals, and the big prize, the Omega Supreme Grapple or Overlord gun part to turn your bots, your Omega Supreme or Overlord, to 4 stars. Now, they do have to already be 3 stars and be at level 10, and then you get this 4-star part, and then you can level them to 4 stars. It's not going to be easy, and all of these prizes, to get the full amount of these prizes, do require you to get to pretty much the end of the event, but there are prizes all along the way. Start off about, we'll cover that in a minute. This is a totalizer. It's one big prize board, so there's no prestiges. It starts at the usual Friday start time, ends at the usual Monday stop time, and there are super XP available throughout the event, so get in there and do lots of battles and level up your bots. You got to be level 4 and be in an alliance. and you hit the yellow event button, pick your zone, win the battle, get the points, and then go collect the prizes with your alliance mates. The battle zones are the standard battle zones. And here is the big thing. Yes, indeed, 1.5 million battle points for the alliance to complete the event and get that 4-star part for Omega Supreme or Overlord. It's a pretty big deal. It's not meant to be easy. Not everybody's going to do it. I'm not going to do it. My alliance, we usually score in the around 200, 250,000 zone during alliance events. And you know what? That's fine. Just like the 3-star part was available in an event and then has recently shown up in the Shanix store, pretty good odds that this 4-star part is going to show up in the Shanix store as well for a pretty decent amount of Shanix. We don't know how much that is, but it will be available. You'll just have to spend some Shanix for it if your alliance can't quite hit that 1.5 million. But there's plenty of alliances out there. It's definitely better than a leaderboard. And so these prizes that you get, as you can see, you've still got to score 920,000 even to collect all of the 3-star shards. But you do get prizes all along the way. Starting at 1,000 points, and about every 5,000 for a little while, then it jumps to about every 10,000, 15, and then by the end, about every 20,000. So you're still getting prizes all along the way, and you can pretty much get any of these other prizes, a portion of that, no matter how far you complete. Basically, the only thing you would miss out if you don't complete it is that Omega Supreme or Overlord part. But there are 5-star shards available early on. Like, for example, looking at about 200,000, we're probably looking at 200 or so 5-star shards to get to that level. And if you want to see the full prize list, there are links out there for the newsletter, or you can sign up for the newsletter in-game. You won't be able to get this week's newsletter, obviously, but it's good. Go sign up for it so you can see every week what we're talking about, because especially on a prize list like this, it would take probably about 10 slides to show all the levels, and so I just condense it down for something like this. So if you want those details, best to go sign up for the newsletters. It's still good event, super XP, and lots of shards available in there, and lots of spark, and combiner spark as well. So get out there and go have a good time. If you're not familiar with the total spark crystals, we have been seeing these quite a bit lately, and it's an equal chance of combat, combiner, or normal spark at 5,000, 7,500, or 10,000 spark. The other bit of news was they announced the Tug of War event, meaning you could get triple the prizes from Alliance Wars. Started last Thursday to an undetermined point in the future. Well, they determined it, and it's going to be this Thursday. So just a 1-week Tug of War. So if you're watching the replay, by the time you're seeing this, the Tug of War event is probably already over, and it'll be back around at some point. But you still get your normal prizes through Alliance Wars anyway. Next up, we learned who the next combat bots are going to be. And first off, I'm going to say I totally called this one, although it wasn't really that much of a stretch. We got Smashdown here, and I've got the little figure there, and he is a kind of a centaur here. Let's go ahead and read his bio. Smashdown is every bit the bull in the china shop. He doesn't do subtle. He just likes to hit things hard. Loud, proud, he always makes an impact and leaves a trail of devastation in his wake. Generally, it pays to dampen your audio sensors and give him a wide berth. So there's this guy here. I'll actually go ahead and put it up on the big screen. So there he is. He is a bull. And if we do a little quick transformation here on him, I'll try to do this relatively quickly so we can get there. And there we go. He turns into a hammer, as you might have gathered from his bio there. So pretty good bet what he's going to be doing or what type of bot's going to wield him. And there's his blast effect part, so you can see definitely he's going to be smashing. Accidentally dropped him on my mouse. Hopefully I didn't destroy anything stream-wise. So yeah, he's probably gonna be for warriors or the melee style bot, doing some sort of a thing similar to like Taraxodon or a pterodactyl. Figured that was going to be coming soon because we didn't have too many of those type of combat bots. All right, so let's get back to the slideshow. Silverbolt says, "You want me to put the hammer down?" Nice. Let's see. Okay. The Decepticon counterpart. Now, this one's actually pretty interesting. I did a little bit of research after I put the slides together, so we're going to move over to something real quick. This is Razor-Sharp. I've never heard of this one before. Razor-Sharp never procrastinates, never hangs fire. He literally cuts to the chase and cleaves into action. In axe mode, there's very little that he can't harm grievously or can harm him. Does it mean he sometimes overreaches himself? Sure, but mostly he lives up to his trenchant reputation. Okay, so turns out Razor-Sharp was the Action Master partner of Bonsaitron back in G1. And that's basically it. The interesting thing was, back then, Razor-Sharp turned into kind of a gun. So you guys are familiar with this one. Dev Nolray called it. So yes, according to TF Wiki, Razor-Sharp turned into a gun. I had a feeling that he was going to, considering he was paired with Smashdown, who's a hammer, they would kind of rebrand him as some sort of a melee weapon. And in his bio, they do say he has an axe mode. So there you go. Here's a really cool thing, and I'm happy I looked this up, that I found on the TF Wiki. Turns out he's a crab. You can kind of see in there. He's kind of got a black center. He's got the purple pinchers, and he's got orange legs. It doesn't come across maybe too well on the stream, but those are supposed to be orange legs. Turns out there's a real crab with that coloring. This is the Pacific land crab, also known as the Halloween crab. So you would look at a character like Razor-Sharp and those crazy colors and think, oh, that's G2 at its finest. But it's actually accurate to a real life crab. That's just absolutely mind-boggling to me. That there's something like that, and that is just so cool. I mean, look at that. That is some crazy coloring on that crab. Yeah, so I just had to share that. I mean, that's just so. Yeah, I don't know. I've said everything already. It's a cool looking crab is what I'm trying to say here. I don't know how many other G2 characters or bots that you're going to be able to find some crazy colors in real life, but Razor-Sharp actually is one of them. So there you go. You learned something today along with me there. So yeah, so there you go. And that's basically it for the news. Just a little reminder, if you're watching the replay, head on over to twitch.tv/EngineerHoist Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern to join us live and all of the craziness that happens live. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EngineerHoist for infrequent behind-the-scenes content. Means I don't post there a lot, but I do post pictures of toys and stuff like that every so often. Yeah, that's basically it. I do have an interesting thing to show you. It wasn't announced in the newsletter, but I did recently install the update on the test server, and I saw patch notes for the new version coming out, and I thought this was a really cool feature. You know how we've been asking for the ability to open 10 crystals at a time for a long time? Well, looks like it's coming. They've announced that it's going to come in the next version in the in that update there, and on the test server they have it here. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now keep in mind, test server. This could pay no attention to my resources because that's just given for demonstration purposes. But before this actually shows up, it may change slightly, but here's a pretty good idea. So there you go. If you look at the bottom right corner by the big green button, that you can see it says open 10 crystals. So you can act. So if you tap right now, it's not active. So if I were to open one, if I were to tap on a crystal, it would open one at a time. But if I were to tap on it, I don't know if you can really see, it kind of is glowing in there inside the 10. See there, it's off, and now it's on. So now if I hit this batch of 10 crystals, it works for the C.O.M.B.A.T chips as well, thankfully. It's going to open 10 at once. So let's go ahead and see how that works. Looks pretty normal. Okay, so there's a duplicate blowpipe, immediately goes to the second one. So if it's a duplicate, it comes in and shows you who it is, and then immediately opens the next one. I don't know if I'm going to get a new bot here because I do have quite a few of the bots, including the C.O.M.B.A.T bots on here. It would be nice if it would open any amount up to 10. It has to be 10 exactly. If you've only got 9 there, you won't have this option. You'll have to do them one by one. So I agree, it would be nice. But still, when you get a bundle with 200 C.O.M.B.A.T chips in it, this is going to be a lifesaver. Okay, so we got a new bot here, Caliburst. So you can see if you get a new bot, it does actually pause the opening to allow you to kind of take a screenshot if you want to, because a lot of people do. You can kind of read the bio there, and it waits for you to hit the continue button. And then it immediately goes back to and finishes opening the 10. And so that was it. And then once you're done, it shows you what you got in the order that you got. The kind of grayed out ones, those were the duplicates, and you can see that Caliburst there was the new one, so he's full color. So that's really cool. And then once you get that, it also tells you what they've all been converted to. So this I think is a really cool way that they've actually done that. So now let's go ahead and see what it looks like when you crack open normal bots. And again, I'm using Decepticons because I've got a better chance of actually pulling a new one to show the pause, which it worked out well because only one out still worked out well. Only 1 out of the 10 of the C.O.M.B.A.T bots worked out. Okay, so here we've got a new Decepticon here again. We pause, we see his animation, we get to take a screenshot, we can read all this stuff, and it waits for us to hit the continue button. And then it goes right back. I'm just sitting here just watching the thing going. I'm not touching anything. So there we go. So okay, it looks like we've got a new Octone. And he didn't want to transform for us for some reason. Go ahead, hit continue, and keep moving on. There's a Mind Wipe. Mixmaster. Slipstream. And I guess that was 10. So there we go. Again, we see the results screen. In this case, we got Ramjet and Octone were the new ones you can see because they're full color as opposed to being grayed out like the other ones. And then when you hit continue, you can see when you open a batch of bots, you're going to see a much bigger list of what they've been converted to because now you've got power cores in the mix, potentially 3 or 4 star shards in the mix, Spark, Combiner Spark, all in the mix there too. So there you go. It's so that's what the feature looks like, and this is a very welcome improvement. A lot of people have asked for this, and contrary to what some people think, they do actually listen to us and try to give us what we ask for if it's at all possible. And for some reason, the Space Bridge thinks it's still trying to go. That may be one of the things they need to still figure out before they release it. Is it still lighting? Is it still going to light up if it's a 3 or 4 star? I imagine it will. In this case, it was only just got 2 star bots and all that, but if it's a 3 or a 4 star, I expect that it would still actually open up. Okay, so it sounds like the Space Bridge is still going. I'm not reading this. I'm pretty sure we've read all this before. So I'm just gonna tap through all that. If you can read fast, go ahead, read fast, or So yeah, big deal. Happy to share. Didn't get the official go ahead to share it, but since it was actually in the in that patch notes for the next release. I figured it was okay. If you don't see any more videos from me, then definitely I jumped the gun and made somebody mad, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. Sunstreaker Waza said it would be okay, so maybe he's just trying to get me off the air so he can own the airwaves. That's my guess. I'm just messing with you, buddy. I'm just you want to open more crystals? Yeah, come on. It's just going to be exactly the same way as it goes, and these don't really count anyway, so... I'm probably gonna have to restart the game to get that space bridge to quit going, aren't I? Let's see if I can get one crystal. Let's see if we can run it one time. See if we can get it to quit. Okay, so here's another good example. I've got one crystal there. The open 10 is active. So it won't let me actually open that one crystal with the open 10 active. So turn it off to open the one crystal. Look at that. Pretty good pull for a single crystal, huh? Oh, good. That did get the space bridge to shut up. So I don't have to reset the whole reset the whole game to get the music working again. Yeah, I agree. I think it was Big Bronze Rim said it would be nice if the open 10 would allow you to open, even if it's less than 10, still allow you to actually open it. But you know, this is still definitely an improvement. So, of course, I'm going to pull a 3-star. Yeah, and Sunstreaker on top of it. Okay, so I think that's gonna do it for the recording, and all of you folks on Twitch, go ahead and stick around. We'll chat for a little while longer, and for anybody watching the replay, that's another benefit to come join us live Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Engineer Hoist, because we do stick around and chat after the show. And so that's gonna do it. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and we'll see you next time.